Welcome. You are the last passenger tonight, the very last. Everyone else who was ever going to pass through this station has already passed through it, a long, long time ago. And now there is only you, and me, and the great warm hall, lit and waiting, the way it has waited every single midnight for 90 years. Listen, you can hear the clock. High up under the roof, a great clock is ticking, slow and deep and patient. It is counting toward midnight. It has been counting toward this same midnight for 90 winters. The train it counts for stopped running before your grandparents were born. It is never coming, and still the clock counts, and still the lamps stay warm. You don't have to wait for the train. We are not here to catch anything tonight. We are only here to be warm in the last lit room before the dark, while the snow comes down outside the great glass arches. You can close your eyes whenever you like. The station will keep its lamps lit. It always has. It does not need you to watch the board for it. The hall we are standing in is the heart of the station. They called it the Great Concourse, when there were still people to call it anything. It is the size of a cathedral. The roof is so high above us that the lamplight grows tired before it reaches it, and the topmost iron beams disappear into a soft warm darkness, like the inside of a held breath. Walk out into the middle of it with me, out onto the open marble. Your footsteps would echo if you took them, but you don't have to take any tonight. We can simply be here in the center of the floor, where 100,000 travelers once stood with their cases at their feet, looking up at the board, hurrying somewhere. None of them are hurrying now. The hurry has all drained out of this place, the way warmth drains slowly out of a stone at the end of the day. What is left is only the warmth itself. The lamps, the marble holding the lamplight, the slow deep tick of the clock holding the night. No one is hurrying you either. Not tonight. The last train of the night left 90 years ago. There is nowhere you have to be, and all of this long warm hall, and all of this long warm night, to not have to be therein. Look up now at the clock. It hangs above the far archway where the platforms begin. A great black and gold face, wide as a small room, lit from within by a soft bulb that has somehow never once gone out. Its hands are long and slim and black, and they are reading. Look, a few minutes before midnight. They are always reading a few minutes before midnight. That is the secret of this station. The great clock ticks and the second hand sweeps, and the minute hand creeps closer and closer to the top of the hour, and it never quite arrives. It has been a few minutes before midnight in this hall for 90 years. You might think that would feel like waiting. It doesn't. Waiting is when you want a thing to come. And nobody here wants the midnight train to come anymore, because the midnight train would mean leaving, and there is nowhere any of us would rather be than exactly here, a few warm minutes before midnight, in the last lit room before the dark. So the clock keeps the hour for us. It holds midnight just out of reach, the way you might hold a warm cup just below your chin without drinking it, not to deny you the warmth, only to make the warmth last. Below the clock on the wall above the platforms there is a board, a great tall board, taller than a house, made of 1,000 small black tiles. The departures board. In the old days it told everyone all at once where every train was going and when. It still works. That is the strange and gentle thing. Most of the station has gone quiet and dark in its corners, but the board still works. Every so often, with no one to tell it to, it stirs. Listen, there. Do you hear it? That soft chattering flutter, like a deck of cards being shuffled very far away, like rain on a thin roof, like a flock of small birds settling. That is the board turning its tiles. Flip, flip, flip. Letter by letter, it spells out a destination. And then it falls still again and shows you where the midnight train was always meant to go. You can read it if you like, or you can let your eyes go soft and just listen to the sound of it. It is one of the kindest sounds in the world, that flutter, the sound of a thing patiently arranging itself, asking nothing of you, expecting nothing back. It will flip again somewhere in the long night. You don't have to be awake to hear it. It is happy to flutter to no one. Come this way with me, through the arch on the left, into a smaller room, the ticket hall. It is quieter in here. The roof is lower and made of carved pale stone, with gold leaf in the hollows of the carving that has gone soft and dim with age. A row of ticket windows lines one wall, little arched openings of dark wood and brass, each with its own small brass grill, each with its own small dark counter worn smooth. Once there was a person behind every window, selling journeys, sliding paper tickets and small coins back and forth under the grill, 100 times an hour all the long day. Their elbows wore those counters smooth. Their voices filled this little vaulted room with the soft, endless murmur of where would you like to go? Where would you like to go? Where would you like to go? The windows are dark now, but they are not unkind. One of them still has its small green lamp lit, low and warm behind the grill, the way a shop leaves one light on overnight, as if to say we are closed and we are at peace. And you are still welcome to stand in our warmth. You don't need a ticket tonight. There is no train and there is no fare, and there is nowhere you are going. You have already arrived at the only place this whole vast station was keeping its lamps lit for. You are here. That was the entire journey. Let us look out at the platforms. Just for a moment. We won't go far down them. We never do. The platforms are where the cold begins, and we are creatures of the warm hall tonight. But stand here at the edge of platform 1, under the last warm lamp, and look, the platform runs away from us into the dark, long and pale and empty. The great glass roof arches overhead, and beyond it, the snow is coming down, slow and blue and soundless, settling on the high panes and making the lamplight inside seem warmer still. The rails are down there in the dark, 2 thin lines of old iron gone soft with rust, threading away into the night where no train has run in 90 years. Grass grows between them now. In summer, small white flowers grow between them. The rails are not waiting anymore. They have made their peace with the grass. This is the edge of things. This is as far as the warmth reaches. Out past the end of the platform, the night opens up enormous and dark and cold and old, and we are not going out into it. Not tonight. Not ever, really. We are going to stand here a moment at the warm edge and watch the snow fall past the open mouth of the roof. And then we are going to turn around and go back inside into the lamplight where it is warm. That is allowed. You are allowed to simply stay where it is warm. Back inside now, out of the cold edge, back into the warm. There is a room I want to show you. A small one, off the main hall. The waiting room. It is the warmest room in the whole station. There is a fire in here, a small black iron stove in the corner, with a low orange glow behind its little glass door, that has, like the lamps, like the clock, somehow never quite gone out. The room smells faintly of wood smoke and old velvet, and the dust of 100 quiet years. There are long wooden benches along the walls, worn pale and smooth and gentle. And there are deep armchairs, the kind no one makes anymore, with high backs to keep the draft off your neck, upholstered in a dark red velvet gone soft as moss. Travelers used to doze in these chairs, waiting for late trains, their cases between their feet, their chins on their chests, the firelight on their faces. You can have one of those chairs tonight, the deepest one, the one closest to the stove. Sit back into it. Let it take your weight the way it has taken the weight of so many tired travelers before you. The fire is warm. The velvet is soft. The great clock ticks faint and slow through the wall. And there is no train to listen for. No train at all. Only the fire and the warm and the long, long night, and nowhere in it you have to go. Let us be still for a moment. Let us not walk anywhere. Let us just listen to the clock. Tick, tick. You have a heartbeat somewhere under all that warmth and stillness, and it is slowing now to keep the clock its slow company. That is all right. That is what is supposed to happen here. The whole station was built, in the end, for exactly this. To slow a tired traveler down and gently down, until the clock and the heart and the snow are all keeping the same slow time. Tick. The minute hand is no closer to midnight than it was an hour ago. It never will be. You have all the time there is. You have always had all the time there is. You only forgot out there in the daylight where the trains still run. In here, the last train left 90 years ago, and took the hurry with it, and left the warmth behind. For you, just for you. There is one more thing I want to tell you before you sleep. About the lamps. Someone lights them. That is the part no one alive has ever quite explained. Every night, just before midnight, the lamps of this dead station come warm and gold, all through the great hall and the ticket room and the waiting room and along the empty platforms. And no living hand turns them on. They simply warm, the way they warmed when the station was young, as if someone is still walking the long rounds with a soft step and a quiet care, lighting the way for a midnight passenger. Maybe someone is, an old lamplighter or an old station master, who loved this place so much that he never quite finished his last round, 90 years ago, and never quite went home, walking the warm hall still, lighting the lamp still, keeping the warmth alive for whoever comes last. For you, tonight, you will never see him. That isn't part of it, but you can feel the kindness of it. The warmth left on, the fire kept low, the clock tipped ticking, the board still fluttering its soft destinations to an empty hall. Just in case someone tired should come in out of the snow and need a warm place to be. Someone is keeping all of this warm for you. You don't have to know who. You only have to let it be enough. And it is. It is more than enough. This is the first hour of our long night together, here in the warm dead station that never quite lets go of midnight. The lamps will stay lit long after you have drifted off. They do not need you to watch them. In the next chapter, we will leave the great concourse behind and find a quieter room. The long arcade with its dark little shop fronts and its single warm lamp, and the snow piling slowly on the glass roof above it. We will be there in a few minutes, or longer. There is no hurry. There is no train. There is only the warm and the slow clock and the soft fall of snow. If you have fallen asleep already, thank you. If you are still awake, thank you. Either is exactly the right thing to be doing, here in the last lit room before the dark. The station doesn't mind. The station has never minded. It has waited 90 years for a passenger who only wanted to be warm. And here you are. Stay with me. We have all night. And the train is never ever coming. And that is exactly as it should be. None at the head of an 8-hour sleep video. Optional 10-second pinned comment style end card after chapter 16. But no info subscribe. Ask Sleepful does not ask people to do things at night.